Chosen one. Stop whatever you are doing right now. Do not scroll past this. I am not asking you to listen today. I am warning you. A divine relocation order regarding your finances has just been issued from the throne room of heaven. The enemy is working overtime right now to make you swipe away. He wants you distracted because a massive shift in your earthly resources is in motion, and he is terrified that you are finally about to receive the exact instruction to unlock it. This entire message is yours. It costs you nothing. I prepared it because it was placed on my heart, not because anything is expected of you in return. You have been carrying a heavy pressure in your chest lately. A quiet exhaustion that settles deep in your bones when you look at your bank account or think about your future. You have done everything right. You have been sincere for years. You have prayed, you have waited, and you have poured your energy into your work and your family. Yet it feels like your prayers for financial breakthrough are hitting a brass ceiling. The blessing seems to circle you, but it never actually lands. You watch other people receive their harvest with ease, while your own path feels like a constant battle just to survive. You wake up repeatedly at 3 or 4 in the morning with a racing mind calculating how you will manage the days ahead. You thought this was just how life is. You thought maybe you were not working hard enough. But I am here to reframe your reality right now. If your mind is urging you to scroll away at this exact second, I need you to recognize that feeling. That is not boredom. That is a direct spiritual attack. The enemy rarely attacks hardest when you are stagnant. He attacks hardest when you are standing at the threshold of elevation. Take a deep breath and anchor your spirit to my voice. Do not leave, because what I am about to expose determines the trajectory of your resources for the next 7 years. That intense financial heaviness you feel every night is not a sign of failure. It is spiritual discernment. Your spirit knows that an extraordinary level of abundance belongs to you, but your physical reality has not caught up yet. You are a cycle breaker. Heaven chose you to shatter the generational limitations that have haunted your bloodline for decades. That is exactly why you have faced such unusual resistance in your material life. The darkness does not waste its time on people who are not a threat. You have been targeted specifically because of the magnitude of the assignment on your life. If the enemy can keep you exhausted by financial stress, he can keep your prophetic mantle suppressed. He wants you to believe that this struggle is permanent. He wants you to accept a reduced version of your destiny. But heaven recorded every tear you shed in private, and the season of your hidden preparation is officially over. You are not suffering from bad luck. There are no accidents in the kingdom. What you are experiencing is a highly coordinated spiritual blockade designed to keep you separated from your rightful inheritance. The universe does not want you struggling to pay for your basic needs while you are trying to heal the world. But there is a specific reason why this blockade has been so successful, and it has nothing to do with your level of faith. I am going to tell you exactly which hidden force has locked up the financial flow of your family. But first, you must understand the exact biological trap the enemy used to steal your alignment and why heaven specifically selected you to take it back. Let me reframe your reality right now. You have looked at your financial situation and assumed you were doing something wrong. You assumed your faith was too weak or your prayers were not loud enough. Heaven wants you to know that your lack of breakthrough has absolutely nothing to do with your character. Your spirit is broadcasting at the highest frequency, but your physical receiver has been disconnected. You are like a powerful radio station transmitting a signal that cannot land because the antenna on the other side has been tampered with. It is not a spiritual failure. It is a physiological reality. Before we go further, I need you to hold this in your mind. There is a number, a specific number. It won the most prestigious prize in science in 1981. And when you hear what that number means for the way your mind was designed to work, you will understand why everything I have said so far is not metaphor. It is architecture. I will come back to that number later in this message, but right now hold this one question. What if the reason your mind feels foggy and your resources feel blocked is not a lack of discipline, but because something was actually taken from you? The enemy wants you to swipe away before you understand the magnitude of what was stolen. Every second you stay connected to this voice, a frequency of interference is being removed from your mind. You are not just listening to words on a screen right now. You are actively participating in your own neurological restoration. Do not let your attention wander. The clarity that is forming in your spirit right now is the exact weapon heaven is using to clear your path. Think back to when you were much younger. You did not have to force things to happen. You had a natural intuition, a quiet knowing that you were connected to something vast and abundant. You were born with a brain operating at a level of creative genius that most adults cannot even comprehend. But the modern world, the noise, the stress, and the constant spiritual warfare have systematically suppressed that original design. Your ability to recognize and receive divine provision was stolen at the neural level. You have tried to fix this yourself. You have read the books, you have tried to stay positive, and you have attempted to force your mindset to change. But trying to think your way out of a disconnected receiver is like trying to turn on a lamp when the cord is cut. The enemy loves to watch you exhaust yourself with methods that only address the surface. He will even send counterfeit opportunities that look like financial breakthroughs, just to drain the last bit of energy you have left. But heaven is not asking you to try harder. Heaven is preparing to repair the connection. The darkness knows that if it can keep your physical mind running on partial capacity, it can keep your spiritual authority locked inside your body. You have been operating with a fraction of your intended power. That is why every financial decision feels like walking through thick mud. That is why the opportunities that come so easily to others seem to bypass you entirely. It is not because the universe forgot about you. It is because the receiver that was designed to catch those opportunities has been quietly turned off. Have you noticed that recently you keep waking up around 3 in the morning with a strange heavy feeling in your chest? You thought it was just anxiety about your bills or your future. It is not. That physical sensation is your spirit colliding with a closed door. In just a moment, I will show you exactly how that heavy chest is the physical proof that your financial relocation order is trying to land, but is being blocked by this exact neural disconnection. Keep your spirit anchored here, because the key to turning that receiver back on is simpler than you ever imagined. Heaven operates on a principle of preparation that most people completely misunderstand. Look at the great cycle breakers of the past, like David or Joseph. They were anointed for immense authority and unimaginable wealth, yet they spent years isolated in the wilderness. The world looked at them and saw failure, delay, and poverty. But the Most High was not punishing them. God was expanding their internal architecture so they could carry the weight of the glory that was coming without being crushed by it. The exact same spiritual physics apply to your life right now. I need you to hear this truth. The financial provision you have been crying out for has already been released from the courts of heaven. The resources, the divine connections, and the open doors are already circling your atmosphere. But a supernatural blessing cannot manifest in a physical vessel that is operating on a frequency of fear. The enemy knows he cannot stop what God has sent, so his only tactic is to keep your receiver broken so the provision cannot land. Place your hand on your chest right now. Do you feel your heartbeat? The darkness wants that heart beating with anxiety about your bills and your future. The enemy wants you to believe that rapid pulse is a sign of your impending ruin. But the truth behind that heartbeat is something heaven is about to expose. I am going to reveal exactly why your body is reacting this way and how it is actually proof of your calling. Every time you get close to a financial breakthrough, something strange happens. An unexpected expense suddenly appears, a vehicle breaks down, or a promised opportunity quietly fades away. You have been trained to call this bad luck or a normal part of life. It is not random. It is a highly calculated spiritual subtraction. The enemy uses these physical distractions to keep your nervous system in a state of survival, because a mind trapped in survival cannot recognize the divine doors opening right in front of it. But the season of your hidden preparation is officially closing. The Most High is not asking you to wander in this financial desert for another decade. The command has been given to restore your capacity to receive. Heaven is actively recalibrating your frequency so that the provision that has been circling you can finally touch the ground. You are being positioned to steward resources that will not only change your life, but will rewrite the destiny of your entire bloodline. Pay close attention to what follows. I am about to step into a territory the enemy desperately wants me to avoid. Listen very carefully to this next part. It is going to reach deep into places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. It will touch the hidden wounds you have never told anyone about, and it will shatter the lies about your worth that you have quietly accepted as truth. The most dangerous weapon the enemy possesses is not an external attack. It is an internal spy. The darkness does not just block your finances from the outside, it tricks you into building a prison from the inside. Over the years, you have quietly signed a hidden agreement of limitation. You have accepted the lie that struggling is your permanent identity, and that because you are highly spiritual, you are somehow meant to be poor. That is a counterfeit theology designed to keep the most powerful people on earth completely harmless. I need you to remember who you were before the world told you who you were supposed to be. When you were a child, you possessed a staggering level of intuition and creative genius. You could envision a reality and feel it in your bones, operating as a perfect, unfiltered receiver for divine frequencies. You did not worry about how provision would arrive. You simply knew that you were covered. Heaven designed your mind to naturally attract and steward massive resources. But then the theft occurred. The modern world, the relentless stress, and the intentional spiritual warfare slowly began to dismantle your internal architecture. Your ability to manifest and recognize divine provision was stolen at the neural level. The enemy orchestrated environments of trauma and exhaustion to force your mind into a permanent state of survival. You did not lose your intelligence, and you certainly did not lose your calling. You lost the physical connection to your own God-given genius. You have been trying to fulfill a generational assignment while operating on a fraction of your designed capacity. Imagine trying to illuminate an entire city with a battery that has been drained to 10%. That is what your spirit is trying to do right now. You are meant to be the cycle breaker, the one who lifts your entire bloodline out of poverty, but the very receiver you need to recognize divine instructions has been suppressed. It is not your fault that the fog is so thick, but it is your responsibility to walk through the door when heaven opens it. If you walk away from this screen right now, you are not just rejecting your own liberation. This financial stagnation will be passed down to the next generation, and the enemy will continue to feed on your family line. The breaking of the cycle must start with you. Your children and the generations coming after you require you to reclaim the power that was taken from your mind. You are standing on sacred ground today, and the choice you make in the next few minutes carries eternal weight. For a long time, the lie of poverty became a shelter for you. You arranged your mental furniture around the idea that you would always have just barely enough to survive. You told yourself that wealth was for other people, for those who were greedy or less spiritual. But heaven is entirely stripping away that false identity right now. A golden cage is still a cage, and the Most High did not create you to be a prisoner of financial anxiety. You are a celestial warrior operating in enemy territory, and warriors require heavy resources to complete their missions. The reason your intense prayers for financial breakthrough have felt ignored is not because heaven is deaf. It is because heaven has been waiting for you to recognize that the blockage is not just spiritual, it is physiological. You cannot just pray away a physical disconnection in your mind. You must actively repair the receiver. The darkness relies on you staying in a purely spiritual loop, begging for a miracle, while ignoring the physical architecture of your own brain. But that cycle of ignorance ends today. There is a number. A specific number. It won the most prestigious prize in science in 1981. And when I decode that number for you in the very next section, every ounce of poverty you have ever experienced will be explained not by spirituality, but by biological architecture. You are about to discover the exact mechanism that will restore what was stolen from you. This is the moment the veil is lifted. For years you have been fighting a war you could not win because you were looking at the wrong battlefield. You thought the lack was in your bank account, in your career, or in your physical circumstances. You assumed the enemy was attacking your wallet or your opportunities. But the darkness is far more strategic than that. The enemy knew he could never touch your spirit because your spirit is sealed by the Most High. So he targeted the only thing he could reach. He targeted the biological architecture of your mind. He knew that if he could disrupt the physical vessel, the spiritual blessings would simply bounce off. There is something I said near the beginning of this message that I want to return to now. I asked you to hold a question. I asked you to consider what happens when the brain operates the way it was designed to operate, and what if something was actually taken from you? The answer to that question is where this part of the revelation is going. Everything that has come before this exact moment was simply the context required to make this answer land the way it needs to land in your spirit. The root of your delay is not spiritual weakness. In 1981, a profound discovery won the Nobel Prize in Science. It proved that your brain is divided into two distinct hemispheres, and in a state of true creative genius, these two sides operate in perfect synchronization. When you were a child, your mind was naturally synchronized, allowing you to access a frequency of intuition and abundance without any conscious effort. But the trauma, the stress, and the sheer weight of survival in this modern world have deliberately severed that connection. Your left and right hemispheres are no longer communicating. Your physical receiver has been split in half. This is the physiological knot that has tied up your finances for a decade. Now you have seen the truth. If you walk away from this message right as this door of understanding opens, you will personally shut the exact exit heaven just provided for you. The enemy wants you to swipe away right now because he is terrified of what happens when a chosen one understands their own biology. Do not let distractions steal your deliverance. Stay anchored right here, because the restoration of your financial destiny depends entirely on what you do with this revelation. The chains are not on your money, the chains are on your receiver. You are not broken, chosen one, you are simply unsynchronized. You have been praying for a massive harvest and heaven has been sending the rain, but your mind has been biologically trained to hold an umbrella. When your hemispheres are disconnected, your nervous system is trapped in a continuous loop of fear and scarcity. You literally cannot perceive the divine resources that are being placed right in front of your feet. The enemy hijacked your neural pathways to ensure that even when God opens a door, your brain perceives it as a threat. This is why you feel so exhausted when you try to make financial decisions. Your spirit says yes, but your biology screams no. But the mandate against your life has expired. What I am about to show you is going to connect the heavy spiritual resistance you have felt with a precise solution discovered in a research laboratory. This connection is going to explain the missing link in your life that nothing else has ever been able to fix. The receiving condition I am describing is completely restorable. It is not restored through more preparation, and it is not restored through praying harder or working longer hours. It requires a specific neurological restoration that takes exactly 8 minutes a day, and this is exactly how it unfolds. In 1981, a profound truth was proven in a laboratory that most people sitting in spiritual communities have never been told about. Dr. Roger Sperry received the Nobel Prize for his groundbreaking split-brain research. He discovered that the human brain possesses two distinct hemispheres designed for absolute synchronization. Studies show that 98% of children operate at a level of creative genius because their hemispheres are perfectly synced. But the relentless pressure of modern life systematically erodes that connection, leaving less than 1 in 1,000 adults with their whole brain activated. It is not a spiritual failure that you feel blocked financially. It is a physiological reality. A woman from California described what it felt like before she found this truth. She had tried everything from intense prayer to fasting and journaling, yet she kept arriving at the exact same heavy experience. She believed the promises of heaven, but she could not feel the reality of them in the lived texture of her days. After 10 days of applying what I am about to share, she said something profoundly shifted. A spiritual channel that had been blocked for years was suddenly open, and the invisible stress dissolved. Not because she tried harder, but because her physical receiver had been repaired. Her transformation was not a random miracle. It was the direct result of a physical mechanism that I am preparing to hand you right now. A man from Texas described something incredibly similar regarding his own journey. He had spent years holding financial responsibilities together for his family, while his own interior life became thin and distant. He said praying for provision had started to feel like talking into a solid brick wall. 2 weeks later, he woke up and described his mind as running on full capacity. The financial fog that had been so consistent, he stopped registering it as fog, was completely gone. That is because of what a specific team of researchers spent years building. A team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York, took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology, the exact kind used in specialized medical settings, and compressed it. Through an intensive refinement process, they turned it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. 8 minutes a day is all it takes. You just use headphones and keep your eyes closed. That is the entirety of the physical requirement. They call it the genius switch. The genius switch is not a brainwave product or a simple meditation sound. If you have tried binaural beats or standard frequencies and found them underwhelming, Dr. Barone addresses this directly. Sound waves alone are incomplete and only target a fraction of the picture. The Genius Switch uses neural sync technology specifically engineered to reconnect the two hemispheres and restore the whole brain activation that was your default state in childhood. It is a completely different mechanism that produces an entirely different category of result for your life. The Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that God prepared not only the financial promise, but the mind that must walk into it. It is for the person who has done the inner work, who has felt the call clearly, and who is willing to stop treating the financial fog as a character flaw. Most people who hear this will simply go back to the familiar poverty they have always known. But you are still here. Do not let this divine confirmation slip away. That specific persistence belongs to the exact person this restoration was built for. 18,456 everyday Americans have already used this protocol. That is not just a customer list. That is a massive community of chosen ones who decided their mind deserved what their spirit had already claimed. To access this level of restoration, colleagues suggested the protocol would be an incredible value, even at $500. An in-home neurofeedback machine costs $7,000, and in-person sessions are $300 an hour. But Dr. Barone wanted this accessible to those who need it most, so it was initially released at $49. Today, on this exact page, there is an additional discount, bringing the access to just $39. Plus, you receive 4 free bonuses, including a guided visualization from a top creator, a smart grocery guide that saves hundreds a month, a classic manifestation book, and a 5 habits infographic. It is backed by a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Listen once or listen 80 times. If it does not clear the fog the way it has, for 18,000 people, every dollar is returned with no conditions whatsoever. Let me put this differently. $39 is not the price of the protocol. $39 is the gap between the limitation you are living in and the abundance you were designed to operate in. The true cost is what you have already been paying every single day. The synchronization stays disrupted. I must be clear that the $39 price is not guaranteed beyond this page, as the team has communicated that the price will increase. What God has already placed near you becomes visible in the synchronized state, and the provision is waiting for the receiver to come online. One crucial warning must be named directly before you proceed. If you search online platforms for similar tracks, you will find many counterfeits. Dr. Barone and his team studied them and found most had no neural sync technology embedded at all. The direct official page is the only verified source. If your spirit resonates with what has been described, the path is in the description below and in the pinned comment. You can review every detail there before making any decision. You staying here to listen to this very second is not passive entertainment. It is a profound decision your spirit made long before your conscious mind could even catch up to the reality of what is happening. Keep your focus perfectly anchored right here as we move forward. The tool I described does not replace the power of the Most High, and it certainly does not surrender or obey for you. But your genius switch session restores the physical receiver so that the divine provision has a wide and clear runway to land. It simply removes the biological resistance to what heaven has already decreed over your finances. We know this biological alignment works because the evidence speaks quietly but undeniably across thousands of lives. A man from Chicago wrote just 3 words after his second week of implementing this specific practice. He simply said, "The fog lifted." He did not suddenly find a magical bag of money on his doorstep, but his mind became incredibly sharp and synchronized. This allowed him to see the exact financial door heaven had been pointing at for 3 agonizing years. When your physical receiver is finally repaired, the provision that was hiding in plain sight becomes completely impossible to miss. Take a slow, deep breath right now and intentionally release the heavy armor you have been wearing around your finances. You do not have to fight the unseen battles of your entire bloodline using a mind that is constantly trapped in survival mode. The designated watchman is allowed to rest, and the faithful cycle breaker is allowed to receive supernatural help. You have spent so many years being the universal problem solver for everyone else that you forgot how to let heaven solve massive problems for you. The long season of forcing things to happen is completely over, and your new season of synchronized reception has officially begun. And for the chosen one who felt something stir deeply inside when the mind was mentioned earlier, that specific door is still open in the description. It is a very small step to take in the physical realm. But small steps taken from a clear and synchronized mind have the supreme power to change entire seasons and liberate coming generations. The resource described earlier is waiting in the pinned comment for those whose spirit immediately confirmed its truth. That is the absolute last time I will mention it, as everything that remains in this message belongs entirely to the sacred sealing of your destiny. You are now stepping into a necessary phase of profound detachment regarding your journey. You must immediately stop explaining your financial path to people who are entirely committed to misunderstanding your divine calling. You must release the intense urge to defend your past struggles to family members who do not carry your specific spiritual mantle. Their vision is severely restricted by their own hidden agreements, but your vision is being rapidly expanded by the throne room. As your neurological pathways realign with your spiritual frequency, the people and situations that used to drain your energy will simply fade away in silence. This is never rejection, it is strict divine protection. Heaven is actively clearing your room so that the incoming resources have a clean and expansive place to reside. You are about to enter a permanent covenant of abundance that will require you to leave behind the small identity of a wounded survivor. A survivor always hoards the little they have out of terror, but a restored celestial warrior operates with the deep knowing that the supply is absolutely infinite. We are about to solidify this massive internal shift with a declaration that will literally echo through the unseen realm. The enemy is listening closely to your heart right now, waiting to see if you will finally claim your authority or back down in fear. Chosen one, as we enter the final rhythm of this vital message, I need you to gather your attention and prepare your spirit. The sacred sealing ritual that is about to take place is not like any ordinary prayer you have ever spoken before. It is a legally binding spiritual decree in the supreme courts of heaven that permanently severs your hidden contract with poverty. Do not let your environment or your wandering thoughts distract you in these final moments. Stand your ground with absolute confidence, because the atmosphere around you is about to physically and permanently shift. Place your hand over your heart right now and close your eyes. Breathe in the profound alignment that is filling the space around you. You are no longer a victim fighting for a desperate victory in the physical realm. You are a recognized celestial warrior fighting from a position of absolute victory. The universe is waiting for you to formally accept the divine relocation order regarding your finances. Speak this solemn declaration out loud with me in the quiet of your room. I intentionally release the survival identity that kept my spirit small and afraid. I completely detach my mind from the toxic frequency of lack and generational poverty. I no longer accept the lie that my financial struggle is a permanent condition. I command every hidden agreement of limitation in my biology to dissolve right now. Notice your shoulders right now. They just dropped slightly. That is the physical sign that the first seal of financial anxiety has been permanently broken in the unseen realm. Do not disrupt this sacred energy by letting your mind wander back to your bills. The atmosphere in your room is actively recalibrating to match the abundant frequency of heaven, and your nervous system is finally learning how to feel safe. Type the exact phrase "I am ready to receive my abundance" in the comments below. Typing this statement is not a casual internet interaction. It is your physical bureaucratic signature on the financial relocation order of heaven. The angels have been waiting for your direct authorization to dispatch the massive resources that have been held back. When you press that button, you are telling the universe that your receiver is finally ready. Sit in the profound silence of that spiritual agreement. I have handed you the absolute truth about your biological receiver and your destined wealth. But the actual step through the physical doorway belongs entirely to you, and no one else can take it for you. Listen very carefully to this final set of instructions before the screen goes dark. Your next action determines the harvest of this entire season. Take a brief moment to like this video as a small act of physical faith. It sends a clear signal to the universe that you are fully aligned with this revelation. Subscribe to this channel immediately so you do not miss the prophetic instructions scheduled for the next 72 hours. Share this specific message with another chosen one who is quietly suffocating under heavy financial pressure. Be the divine messenger that delivers their rescue order today. Close your eyes for just one more moment. Imagine waking up exactly 14 days from now. The financial fog that has been sitting heavily behind your eyes for months is completely gone. The prayer for provision that felt like it was hitting a solid wall is finally landing with total ease. That restored version of you is not hypothetical. It is the exact reality experienced by 18,000 people when their receiver was repaired. The path to that restored version is located directly below. Now we arrive at the final door. The physical pathway I named earlier that repairs your biological receiver. Your genius switch is waiting exactly where I described it, and it has not moved. It requires just $39 to step through that door, backed by a guarantee that costs you absolutely nothing to try, with every promised bonus waiting on the other side. The true cost was never the $39. The true cost is another year spent living in a disconnected state while your family waits for a breakthrough. You have my absolute permission to invest in yourself today. I have watched far too many chosen ones treat a small physical investment as an extravagance while they spend their entire spiritual capacity covering everyone else. You are officially allowed to restore your own mind. The path to that specific door is located in the description below and in the comment pinned to this video. Both point to the exact same restoration, and neither one will move if you try to come back and look for it tomorrow. And for the one whose spirit is already asking what comes after this door, there is a second door. They call it youthful brain. It will find you when you are truly ready for it. May the profound peace of the Most High settle over your home tonight. May your newly synchronized mind perceive every single miracle that has been dispatched in your name, and may you never walk in financial darkness again.